But who is chosen is the question.
And we will bring it
Son
out.
of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me.
And his statutes, and commanding this day. Stop.
Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon. Make the watch strong. Set up the watchmen.
Want to go into that?
For he has visited and redeemed his people.
Set up the watchman mean put the nation in order.
On this board right here, don't say they don't have the African on it. The board says that African. Yeah, because we're not African. So why they say black African American?
No, that's what they say.
I know.
All right, that's two continents, Africa and America.
Yeah.
All right. Biblically, they're from the tribe of Judah. All right. Africa was named after Africanus. Thank you. And America was named after America Vespucius, who was also a European. Those are two European men. So your bloodline cannot be of two European men. So you're not an African American. That's bring that out. Okay, bring that out.
Luke 21, verse 20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh.
All right. So this is referring to the 70 AD. All right. The Romans conquered Jerusalem. All right. And the Israelites, we fled into the interiors of Africa. All right. Because we fled the destruction. So we ended up in many different areas of that continent. All right. But we were not that people. The Africans are a different nation of people.
Well, are they black?
They're black, but they are with the I need the Bible dictionary.
Anybody? To my bag.
So they are from the people that are Ham. They're descendants of Ham. All right. Because remember, after the flood, Noah had 3 sons: Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Right. Okay. We are from Shem. The Africans are from Ham.
Exodus 11, verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know that the Lord doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
Okay, now, they were the original Egyptians, the Africans, the Hamites. So when we were in Egypt, we were under them, all right? They were also the Ethiopians, all right? So we were not of the same nation, all right? That's the difference. When they say we were sold into slavery by Africans, all right, we were. Between the Africans and the Arabs. That's where this thing comes into play, see? All right? Because when you look here, these are the Arabs, and this is us. We were in submission. Now these are all three: the Arab, the white man, and the African. All right? And the reason when they sold us into captivity, okay, because they knew we were of a different nation. We weren't the same people. So therefore, yeah, it is. It is. So everybody thinks Africa is the motherland. All right? And we're Africans. We're not. We're Israel. All right? We're totally different people. All right?
But what? Then say, but we in a job application, you still got to put down.
Because we're in captivity.
So I can't put down.
Yeah, bring that out.
If I put down what you just told me, what nationality I am, what I
You know what I checked? Okay.
Oh, all right.
Okay. Because they asked you that question.
Right? So not to be confusing, you definitely going to check off African American because that's what they know you as, right? That's what you're called. But the term African, right, like you brought out earlier, is what? It's of a man named Leo Orpheus Africanus, right? So that's where they get the name African. But that man, do you know his nationality?
No.
Right, that man, his nationality is a white man, he's Greek, right? Then you have America, it's America Vespucci, you heard of him?
Yeah.
All right, so he's an Italian man, right? Which is still amongst that Greek, that white people. So you're not actually an African American, that makes no sense. But that's what they know us as. So we're not in a job application. You're gonna put African American because other than if you put other, then you show up, they're gonna be like, yo, you know, who's this guy? I mean, you can tell them anything at that point, but you wanna, for the sake of argument, you're gonna put African American, right? So the point is, you wanna know why we're not African, right? So now, go back to that, read that again, Deuteronomy. I'm gonna show you something was read earlier. I just wanna let you bring it back.
About the separation.
Yeah. We wanna talk about that. Exactly.
Exodus 11 verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue.
So when it says a dog, it's talking about people outside of Israel. That's what God calls dogs, not just a regular dog.
Right.
He talking about the other nations. We would call heathen, we call them dogs. So it said, read that again.
But against any of the children of Israel
So against any of the children of Israel shall not the heathen wave their tongue. They ain't gonna have nothing to say. Read.
shall not a dog move his tongue
Come on.
against man or beast.
It says against man or beast. That's how come you know that dog is talking about a person.
Yeah.
Right? Come on. That's right.
That ye may know how the Lord doth put a difference
So you may know how the Lord puts a difference, you caught that before,
between the Egyptians
between the Egyptians, who were what? Africans, and what?
and Israel.
Right, because they had our people in what? In slavery during that time, in the time of Egypt. If you look on any of the hieroglyphs, the pictures, you're gonna see it's the black Egyptians and the slaves were black too. That was our people. So we did what? We took on their customs. Same thing like here in America. We take on the customs of America. We celebrate Christmas, we celebrate Easter, we do all of those things because that's what we were taught here, right? So now God said, listen, I'm gonna put a difference between you and the Egyptians because both y'all are black, right, per se, dark skin. We started to bald our head like them, do everything like them. So the Lord said, no, you're gonna have laws, statutes, commandments that's gonna have you different from them. So that's why all the laws came out showing a man has to have a beard. A man should not bald his head. You know what I'm saying? Or wear fringes. All these things the Lord brought about to make sure that we knew that we were the Israelites. We were not the Egyptians. We were not the Africans. That's what goes into it, right? You got the Bible dictionary, because I knew you were going to bring that out before. Right? So check this out. They're going to read something to you. Yeah, these are the scholars, the so-called scholars. All right? You got that? All right, there. You got that.
All right. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna read the Quran.
Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negro.
So there you go. So now the Hamites are your so-called Africans, all right, who were the Egyptians, who were the Ethiopians.
But the Egyptians, the Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites.
So now when you see these people in the flesh, now you know who they are, what the difference is, all right? You know who you are, you know who they are. There are other nations also, you know, that are out here, but they all come from yes, sir.
Because you wanted to know, brother, you asked the question about why I can't put Israel on my resume or my application, right? You can't put that, you gotta put African American, right? I'm gonna show you why. Psalms 83 verses 3. It's a big secret. This is why when you see our sign, we put the names that we're known by and our true names. Because our true name has been hidden from us. Our true name has been kept from us. All right, it's all by design. It's not a coincidence that we out here to teach our people. We out here to teach our people because nobody else is going to do it. Yeah. Understand? You're not going to learn this in your schools, on TV, in your school books. You're not going to learn this. It's only going to come out from us, from the Spirit of the Most High, bringing it to our people. Read that.
Psalms 83 verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel.
It says they have taken crafty counsel. They are our enemies. The other nations, they have taken crafty counsel, meaning they've plotted against us. Read.
Against thy people.
Against who?
Against thy people.
Against the people that you see on the sign, they have taken crafty counsel against us. Read.
And consulted against thy hidden one.
And consulted against who?
Against thy hidden one.
See, the Bible calls us the hidden ones. Why are we hidden? Because nobody knows our true nationality. Our own people don't know their true nationality. That's why we bring it out to you today, so that you know who you are. Give me Daniel chapter 9 and verse 7. Matter of fact, give me 1 Maccabees. I'm going to show you that it goes back. It goes back to our previous captivities. All right, the Greco-Roman captivity. This was all by design to keep us hidden from who we are, to keep us hidden from our true nationality, from our true God. You understand? And have us worshiping idols, and have our women walking around in pants and spandex, our men with their shaved beards. It's all by design to keep us hidden. Read. 1 Maccabees 6 and 9.
2 Maccabees chapter 6 and verse 9. 2 Maccabees 6 verse 9. And whoso would not conform themselves to the manner of the Gentiles.
And whoso what?
And whoso would not conform themselves.
Start at verse 6.
Neither, 2 Maccabees 6 verse 6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days.
You see that? It wasn't lawful for a man, an Israelite man, to keep the Sabbath. Today is the Lord's Sabbath, and our people do not keep it. And it goes back to this, when we were under the Greeks. Neither was it lawful
for a man to keep Sabbath days, or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
Read that again.
Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days, or ancient feasts, or to profess himself.
Or to what?
Or to profess himself.
You know what that means, to profess yourself? To call yourself what?
Profess himself at all to be a Jew.
So you couldn't call yourself a Jew. Just like today, you can't say you're a Jew. Why? Because you have imposters calling themselves Jews. You have other people calling themselves Jews. But the so-called blacks and Hispanics, who are the true Jews, we cannot profess to call ourselves Jews, because what? It was unlawful. Just like now, it's unlawful. It's not ordinary. It's not common knowledge that the true blacks and Hispanics are the Israelites. All right? Why? Because it was to keep us hidden. It was all by design. Read that again. Continue on me.
And in the day of the king's birth, every month, they were bought by bitter constraint to eat of the sacrifices.
See that? They had us breaking God's laws to eat of the sacrifices that were sacrificed to idols. Read.
And when the feast of Bacchus was kept,
the feast of Bacchus. What do you have? What do you call it now? The Trinidadians call it Bacchanal. All right. That's what the Bacchanal comes from the feast of Bacchus, the god of wine and orgies. All right. That's what you celebrate when you go to Carnival on Eastern Parkway. All right. That's what our people are into, and it goes back to the Greeks. All right. Read.
The Jews were compelled to go in procession to Bacchus.
The Jews, the Israelites, were compelled, meaning forced, to go in procession, meaning march, like a carnival, right? Like a parade. Read.
Carrying ivy.
Carrying what?
Carrying ivy.
Carrying ivy to these idols. Read.
Moreover, there went out a decree to the neighboring cities of the heathen.
A decree, meaning a law, to the neighboring cities of the other nations. Read.
By the suggestion of Ptolemy.
By the suggestion of Ptolemy, who was the ruler of the Greeks at the time. Read.
Against the Jews.
Against who?
Against the Jews.
Against the Israelites, the so-called blacks and Hispanics. Read.
That they should observe the same fashion.
That we have to keep the same fashions as the other nations. That's why today our people don't go by Israel, don't go by Judah, Benjamin, Levi. They go by African American. They go by Puerto Rican. Why? Because that was forced upon us. Now we do it willingly. Now we do it without even thinking, without even considering who we are as a people, as a nation. Read.
And be partakers of their sacrifices.
And be what?
And be partakers of their sacrifices.
And be partakers of their sacrifices. Meaning we have to keep their customs. We no longer could keep the Sabbath. the high holy days that's written in this Bible, we have to keep their customs. Read.
And whoso would not conform themselves
And if you didn't follow these customs
to the manners of the Gentiles,
to the manners of the other nations, meaning what they follow, read.
should be put to death.
Meaning we would be killed. Now we do it willingly. We've been killed, we've been slaughtered so much that now it's become normal for us not to call ourselves Jews. Now it's out of the ordinary for the Israelites to stand up and say that we are the true Jews. Why? Because now God's laws is coming back in effect. Now you see God's prophets raising back up. Those so-called Israelis that's out in Jerusalem, those are not the real Jews. Read that in Revelation 2 verse 9. All right, we're going to show you the imposters, the true imposters. We are the real Jews. The so-called blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans, the hidden ones that the Bible calls the hidden ones, we are the true Jews.
Revelation chapter 2 and verse 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty.
Who's in poverty? The so-called blacks and Hispanics. When you look around in the ghettos of Harlem, in the Bronx, Queens, Manhattan, wherever the so-called blacks and Hispanics are, we are in poverty. We are in poverty. All right? They got high-rises going up in Harlem, but it's not for us. It's for the so-called white people, all right? They come and gentrify the neighborhoods. They come raise up the rents on you, all right? That you can't afford it. Why? So that you would have to move out and they take over. It's called gentrification. Read.
But thou art rich.
But we are rich. Why? Because we are the Israelites. We are the true chosen people of God. But we don't know it. We don't consider. Read.
And I know the blasphemy.
I know the blasphemy, meaning the lie. Read.
Of them which say they are Jews.
Who calls themselves Jews today? The so-called white people. Exactly. Read.
And are not.
They are what?
And are not.
They are not the Jews. They are not the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. Read.
But are the synagogue of Satan.
They're the synagogue of what?
But are the synagogue of Satan.
They're the synagogue of Satan. Excuse me? Who that's speaking? That's John the Revelator. This is the last book in the Bible, the book of Revelation. All right? It's telling you who the imposters are. All right? They're the synagogue of Satan. Give me Psalms 50 verse 20.
Psalms 50 verse 20. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother.
Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. It's talking about the so-called white men. All right, they speak against us. They call us blacks. They call us Hispanics. They call us derogatory names, nigger, spick, right? They call us goyim. All these derogatory names, these bywords. Read.
Thou slanderest thine own mother's son.
Thou slanderest thine own mother's son. They slander us. All right, they call us criminals. They call us super predators. All right, that's what Hillary Clinton called us, super predators. She called our young men super predators. No, they're not a regular predator, a super predator. Read.
Now these things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as in one as thyself.
They thought because God kept silent. God kept silent because we've broken his laws. That's why God will not stand for our people. Because we've broken his laws. When we stand up as men and call ourselves by our true nationality and continue to keep these laws, that's when God will stand up for us. That's when God will speak for us. But until then, he would have our oppressors over us. Read.
But I will reprove thee.
I will what?
But I will reprove thee.
The Most High is going to reprove the so-called Jewish man, the so-called white man. All right, read.
And set them in order before thine eyes.
And he's going to set us, the Israelites, in order before the nation's eyes. All right. So, brother, continue to study, learn who you are, and when you see us, brother, stop, ask questions. All right. We have to come back to God's laws.
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, please make sure you subscribe to this Join IUIC channel to get your latest updates from all our YouTube channels. Shalom.